Imagine gazing at a map of our world, tracing your finger across oceans, seas, and coastlines. You will find countless islands, some inhabited, some deserted, and others completely mysterious. But here is the fascinating part. There are islands on Earth so restricted, so forbidden, that ordinary people like you and me will never be allowed to set foot on them. These are not just isolated patches of land. They are vaults of secrets guarded by nature, by governments, and in some cases, by the past itself. These islands stir curiosity because the one thing humans desire most is the very thing they cannot have access. And when we are told we cannot go somewhere, our imagination instantly runs wild. What are they hiding? Why can we not go there? And what secrets could these forbidden places reveal if we were allowed inside? Today, we are venturing into the unknown to explore 10 islands where no human is allowed. From islands crawling with venomous snakes to government-guarded lands shrouded in secrecy, to islands where ancient cultures still thrive in isolation, each of these places holds a story stranger than fiction. So buckle up, because what you are about to discover might just make you rethink how much of this planet we truly control. Island number 1, North Sentinel Island, India. If there is one place on Earth that truly embodies the phrase off-limits, it is North Sentinel Island, tucked away in the Bay of Bengal. This island is part of India's Andaman Islands, but it may as well exist in a different world. The Sentinelese people, who live there, are among the last uncontacted tribes on Earth. For tens of thousands of years, they have thrived in complete isolation, untouched by modern civilization. Attempts to contact the Sentinelese have always been met with hostility. Outsiders who approach the island are greeted not with curiosity, but with arrows and spears. The Sentinelese fiercely protect their home and way of life, and the Indian government has made it illegal to step foot on the island to both preserve the tribe's safety and protect outsiders from potential harm. This is not just about hostility, it is survival, because the Sentinelese have lived in isolation for so long. Their immune systems are not equipped to handle modern diseases. Even a common cold could devastate their population. For this reason, North Sentinel Island has been declared completely off-limits. Boats must stay at least 5 kilometers away from its shores, and those who ignore this rule risk never coming back. The island remains a living time capsule, a glimpse into what life might have looked like tens of thousands of years ago. But we will likely never know the full story, because the Sentinelese are determined to keep the world out. And perhaps, deep down, that is exactly how it should remain. Island 2 menos Ilha da Queimada. Grande Snake Island, Brazil. From an island guarded by humans to one ruled entirely by nature, welcome to Snake Island, officially known as Ilha da Queimada Grande, located just off the coast of Brazil. On the surface, this island looks like paradise, lush greenery, golden sunlight, and waves lapping against its rocky shores. But do not let appearances fool you. This island is one of the deadliest places on Earth. Why? Because it is home to one of the largest concentrations of venomous snakes in the world. It is estimated that there is at least one deadly golden lancehead viper for every square meter of land. That means if you were to step foot on Snake Island, you would not be able to take a single step without encountering a snake capable of killing you in minutes. The golden lancehead viper's venom is so potent that it can melt human flesh. Stories of fishermen who accidentally landed on the island describe them being bitten multiple times, unable to escape before succumbing to the venom. Unsurprisingly, the Brazilian government has declared the island completely off-limits to civilians. Only a handful of scientists, under strict supervision, are occasionally allowed to visit for research purposes. But why are there so many snakes here in the first place? The answer lies in geography. Thousands of years ago, rising sea levels cut off the island from the mainland, trapping a population of snakes. With no predators and an abundance of birds flying in from the mainland to nest, the snakes thrived and evolved deadlier venom to take down their prey instantly, before it could fly away. Snake Island stands as one of the clearest examples of nature taking over completely, creating a place so dangerous that even humans, with all their power and technology, have surrendered it. It is a forbidden paradise, where the only rulers are serpents. These first 2 islands set the tone for our journey, one guarded by humanity itself, the other by deadly nature. But they are only the beginning. Ahead, we will encounter islands shrouded in secrecy, islands hiding dark histories, and islands where even governments admit entry is forbidden. So let us continue deeper into this mysterious list. Island number 3, Secrecy Island. Iceland sometimes. Forbidden islands are not ancient, mysterious, or full of danger. They are brand new, born right before human eyes. That is the story of Secrecy, a volcanic island off the southern coast of Iceland. It did not even exist until 1963, when a powerful undersea volcanic eruption pushed molten rock and ash above the ocean's surface, creating new land where none had stood before. By the time the eruption stopped in 1967, Surtsey had grown into a fully formed island covering about 1 square mile. Unlike most places on Earth, Surtsey was declared off-limits from the very beginning. Why? Because scientists wanted to observe how life colonizes a brand new environment without human interference. Over the decades, Surtsey has become a living laboratory. Seeds carried by ocean currents, wind, and birds have sprouted across its rocky soil. Mosses, lichens, and eventually flowers have appeared. Birds began nesting, insects arrived, and eventually seals began using the island's beaches as a resting ground. Today, Surtsey is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, carefully protected from human disturbance. Only a small number of scientists are allowed to set foot on the island each year, and they must follow strict rules to avoid contaminating its ecosystem. Even the smallest human interference, dropping food, bringing in soil, or introducing an insect accidentally, could completely alter the natural progression scientists are trying to study. Surtsey is proof of how quickly life can take hold in even the harshest conditions. But for you and me, it remains off. It is one of the rare cases where humanity has deliberately chosen to keep itself away, allowing nature to write its story uninterrupted. Island number 4. Niihau, Hawaii. Now let us travel across the world to Hawaii, where an island exists that is off-limits, not because of danger, but because of ownership. Niihau, often called the Forbidden Island, is a privately owned island that outsiders are simply not allowed to visit. Back in 1864, a wealthy Scottish woman named Elizabeth Sinclair purchased the island from King Kamehameha V for just $10,000 in gold. Since then, Niihau has remained in the hands of her descendants, the Robinson family, who have kept it closed to outsiders for over 150 years. Only around 130 to 170 people live on Niihau, and most of them are native Hawaiians who continue to live a traditional lifestyle. They speak Hawaiian as their primary language, fish, hunt, and farm to sustain themselves, and they do so without the modern conveniences most of us take for granted. There are no paved roads, no grocery stores, and limited electricity. The Robinson family enforces strict rules to preserve this way of life. Outsiders cannot step foot on Niihau without special permission, which is rarely granted. Even Hawaiian residents from other islands are not welcome unless they have family ties to Niihau. Tourists are strictly banned, and the island has no hotels, airports, or public facilities. But why such strict rules? The family claims they want to protect the island's residents from outside influences and preserve their culture. Some also suggest it is a way of honoring King Kamehameha's original wish to protect his people's way of life. Of course, the secrecy surrounding Niihau has sparked rumors. Some claim there are hidden government or military installations there. Others believe the Robinson family is guarding unknown resources or secrets. In truth, the simplest explanation is often the correct one. Niihau is a living snapshot of old Hawaii, one of the last places where traditional Hawaiian culture thrives in near-total isolation. For most of us, Niihau will remain forever out of reach, visible only from afar. It is a reminder that sometimes the most forbidden places are not controlled by governments or filled with danger. They are simply kept private, locked away by families who value preservation over tourism. At this point in our journey, we have seen islands guarded by ancient tribes, venomous snakes, scientific protection, and private ownership. Each one tells a different story, yet they share a common theme: the idea that some corners of Earth are meant to remain untouched. But the journey is only just beginning. Ahead, we will uncover islands with dark histories, islands tied to government secrets, and islands so strange that even scientists struggle to explain their existence. Prepare yourself, because the next locations on our list push the boundaries of what we think we know about forbidden places. Island number 5, Poveglia Island, Italy. Not all forbidden islands are untouched paradises or scientific reserves. Some are shunned because of the dark histories that cling to them like shadows. One of the most chilling examples is Poveglia Island in Italy, often described as one of the most haunted places in the world. Located in the Venetian lagoon between Venice and Lido, Poveglia has been avoided for centuries. Its reputation is so grim that boats refuse to dock there, and the Italian government has banned public access. Why? Because the island is said to be cursed by centuries of suffering and death. During the Black Death plague of the 14th century, Poveglia was used as a quarantine zone, Infected individuals were sent there to live out their final days, isolated from the rest of society. Thousands died, and their bodies were burned in massive pits. Centuries later, during another outbreak, the island served the same grim purpose. Some estimates suggest that over 100,000 people may have perished on Poveglia, but the horror did not end there. In the late 1800s, the island became home to an asylum for the mentally ill. Patients were said to have been mistreated and subjected to inhumane experiments by a cruel doctor who later met a mysterious death, reportedly falling or being pushed from a tower. Locals claim his ghost still haunts the island. Today, Poveglia remains abandoned, its crumbling buildings standing as eerie reminders of its gruesome past. Those who dare to approach the island often report strange noises, ghostly apparitions, and an overwhelming sense of dread. Fishermen avoid the waters around it, fearing bad luck or worse. The Italian government has declared Poveglia off-limits, and while there have been occasional attempts to lease or sell the island, its reputation has kept it empty. It is a forbidden island not because of nature or law alone, but because of fear. Some places are simply too haunted by the past to ever be reclaimed. Island number 6, Diego Garcia, Indian Ocean. From haunted ruins to government secrets, our next stop takes us to Diego Garcia, a remote atoll in the Indian Ocean. Unlike Poveglia, Diego Garcia is not abandoned. It is one of the most strategically important military bases in the world, and it is completely off-limits to civilians. Diego Garcia is part of the Chagos Archipelago, a group of islands once home to a small local population, but in the late 1960s and early 1970s, that population was forcibly removed by the British government to make way for a joint US-UK military base. The Chagosians were relocated to Mauritius and the Seychelles, leaving Diego Garcia devoid of its native people. Since then, the island has become a heavily fortified military installation. It serves as a key strategic hub for operations in the Middle East and Asia, hosting airstrips capable of launching long-range bombers, docks for naval ships, and advanced communication facilities. During the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, Diego Garcia played a vital role as a launch point for military operations, but the secrecy surrounding the island has sparked numerous conspiracy theories. Some claim it is used for clandestine operations, including secret prisons or intelligence gathering. Its remote location makes it ideal for activities far from public scrutiny. What happens on Diego Garcia remains tightly controlled, and almost nothing is confirmed. For ordinary people, entry to Diego Garcia is impossible. The island is restricted to military personnel and authorized contractors. Even journalists and researchers struggle to gain access. It is not a place of natural danger like Snake Island, nor of cultural protection like North Sentinel. It is forbidden because it is a fortress and island that has been transformed into a symbol of power, secrecy, and control. Diego Garcia stands as a reminder that not all forbidden places are natural wonders or untouched sanctuaries. Some are forbidden because governments have decided that what happens there should remain hidden from the public eye, and in many ways, those secrets are just as unsettling as the mysteries of uncontacted tribes or deadly wildlife. With these two islands, our journey has shifted from the natural to the human. Poveglia shows us how human suffering can curse a place beyond recovery, while Diego Garcia demonstrates how governments can erase entire populations to create a stronghold of secrecy. But we are far from finished. Ahead, we will uncover islands that blend myth, mystery, and danger, places that are forbidden not just because of laws or legends, but because stepping foot on them might mean never leaving. Island number 7, Ise Jingu's Sacred Island. Japan. Not all forbidden islands are barred by governments or haunted by ghosts. Some are protected by faith, tradition, and sacred reverence. One such place is connected to the Ise Grand Shrine in Japan, one of the most important religious sites in Shintoism. Off the coast of Honshu, near the shrine, lies a small island known as Okinoshima, often mistakenly referred to as part of the Ise Jingu sacred grounds. Okinoshima itself is the truly forbidden island declared so sacred that only priests were allowed to visit for centuries. To this day, it remains almost entirely off-limits to the outside world. The island is considered the dwelling place of the goddess Munakata, and for over 1,000 years it has been a site of ritual offerings. Archaeologists who have carefully studied the area under strict supervision have found more than 80,000 artifacts, including precious mirrors, jewelry, and weapons, all offered to the gods. These treasures are now recognized as national treasures of Japan. Strict rules govern the island's sanctity. Women are absolutely forbidden to set foot on it. and men who are permitted must undergo purification rituals, including bathing in the sea naked before entering. Even those rare visitors are prohibited from taking anything away or speaking of what they witness on the island. In 2017, Okinoshima was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but that recognition has not lifted its restrictions. Instead, it reaffirmed the island's protected status. For the modern world, Okinoshima serves as a reminder of how ancient beliefs can still shape access to land, keeping it untouched and preserved for centuries. Unlike islands forbidden for reasons of danger or politics, Okinoshima is forbidden out of reverence. It represents the sacred bond between humanity and nature, a place where silence, secrecy, and purity outweigh curiosity. Island number 8, North Brother Island, United States. Our next stop takes us to the East River in New York City, where, surprisingly, one of the most haunting forbidden islands lies hidden in plain sight. North Brother Island may not have deadly snakes or uncontacted tribes, but its eerie past and dangerous ruins have rendered it off-limits to the public. The island first gained infamy in 1885 when the steamship General Slocum caught fire nearby, killing over 1,000 people. Survivors were brought to North Brother Island, but the tragedy marked the land with sorrow from the start. Later, the island became home to a hospital designed to quarantine patients with highly infectious diseases like smallpox, tuberculosis, and polio. Perhaps its most famous resident was Mary Mallon, better known as Typhoid Mary. She was the first documented asymptomatic carrier of typhoid fever in the United States. After repeatedly breaking quarantine and causing outbreaks, she was permanently confined to North Brother Island, where she lived in isolation for over 20 years until her death. In the 1950s, the hospital shifted its focus to treating drug addiction, experimenting with rehabilitation programs. But corruption, neglect, and worsening conditions caused the facility to shut down by the 1960s. Since then, the island has been abandoned, its buildings left to decay. Today, North Brother Island is off-limits, managed as a bird sanctuary to protect nesting herons and other wildlife. Its crumbling hospital ruins are overtaken by trees and vines, creating an eerie blend of nature reclaiming human history. Urban explorers dream of stepping inside, but access is strictly prohibited without special permission. The forbidden nature of North Brother Island is less about protecting people from danger and more about preserving nature, while leaving history untouched. Yet its chilling past plagues, tragedy, and isolation make it one of the most mysterious forbidden places in the United States. With Okinoshima, we witnessed how faith can preserve an island for over a millennium, untouched by outsiders. And with North Brother Island, we saw how human tragedy and decay can transform a place into something both sacred and sinister. But the last two islands on our journey might be the most extreme of all. One hides in plain sight beneath layers of secrecy and forbidden archives. The other is home to creatures so deadly that stepping foot there would almost certainly be your last mistake. Together, they represent the peak of mystery and danger when it comes to Earth's forbidden places. Island number 9, Niihau, the forbidden Hawaiian island. When most people imagine Hawaii, they think of golden beaches, tropical drinks, and endless tourist attractions. But not all Hawaiian islands are open to outsiders. Niihau, often called the Forbidden Island, is one of the most mysterious places in the Pacific Ocean, because almost no one outside its small population is allowed to set foot on it. Niihau has been privately owned since 1864. When it was purchased by the wealthy Sinclair family from King Kamehameha V, the family promised to preserve the land, culture, and traditions of the native Hawaiian people, and, to this day, they have kept that promise. About 130 native Hawaiians still live on Niihau, speaking the Hawaiian language and living largely apart from modern technology. The island has no paved roads, no shopping malls, and no power grid. Residents use solar power, catch fish, and live in harmony with nature much like their ancestors did centuries ago. Outsiders are not welcome unless specifically invited by the family who owns the island. Even the Hawaiian state government has little authority there. For decades, the secrecy of Niihau has fueled endless rumors. Some say it hides secret military bases due to its proximity to Pearl Harbor. Others claim it has rare plants and species unknown to science. But the truth is simpler, though no less fascinating. Niihau is forbidden to protect a way of life that the rest of the world has lost. In a world dominated by globalization and constant connection, Niihau stands as a place frozen in time. Its people are not prisoners, they have chosen isolation as a way to preserve their culture. And in that choice, the island has become one of the last truly forbidden places on Earth. Island 10 menos Ilha da Queimada Grande. Brazil Snake Island. Of all the forbidden islands we have visited, none is as terrifying as our final destination. Ilha da Queimada Grande, better known as Snake Island. Located off the coast of Brazil, this island is considered one of the most dangerous places on Earth, and for good reason. The island is home to between 2 and 5 snakes per square meter. That means if you were to take a single step, you would almost certainly come face to face with one of the world's deadliest reptiles, the golden lancehead viper. This species exists nowhere else in the world and has venom so powerful that it can melt human flesh and kill within hours. According to legend, the snakes multiplied after being trapped on the island thousands of years ago, when rising sea levels separated it from the mainland. With no predators to control their numbers, the population exploded. The Brazilian government has completely banned visitors from setting foot on Snake Island. Only carefully selected scientists are granted permission, and even then, they must take extreme precautions. Stories abound of fishermen who strayed too close and never returned, their boats later found adrift, empty. Beyond the danger, Snake Island hides secrets that have never been fully explored. Its isolation and unique ecosystem could offer clues about evolution and medicine. Some researchers believe the venom of the golden lancehead could even contain compounds useful for new drugs. But for now, the risks outweigh the rewards. Snake Island stands as the ultimate forbidden place, not protected by faith or secrecy, but by sheer lethal danger. It is nature's warning sign, a place where curiosity could cost you your life. Conclusion. Why forbidden islands fascinate us. From the icy isolation of Surtsey in Iceland to the deadly jungles of Snake Island, these forbidden islands remind us of something profound. Despite our satellites, our ships, and our technology, the Earth still holds secrets we cannot touch. Each of these islands tells a different story. Some are sacred, like Okinoshima, preserved by faith and tradition. Some are cursed by history, like North Brother Island with its tragic past. Others, like Niihau, show us a way of life hidden from the modern world. And then there are places like Snake Island, where nature itself draws an impenetrable barrier against human intrusion. But perhaps the greatest lesson these islands teach us is that mystery still exists. In a world where information is only a click away, places like these prove that there are still corners of the Earth shrouded in silence, secrets, and danger. And maybe that is why we are so fascinated by them, because they represent something rare, the unknown. They remind us that we are not masters of this planet, but guests, and some doors, no matter how tempting, are better left unopened. So the next time you hear of a forbidden island, ask yourself, is it truly the danger that makes it forbidden, or is it the mystery that makes us want to know what lies within?